said you were already demoing music, and before you had any lyrics.
Yeah, so we were very prolific. We'd just come from headlining the Viva La Bands festival tour in the States. It was us, Bois, CKY and Veins of Jenna, a very mixed bag, but it was great. And of course, coming back from there, we were very fired up and, you know, really tight as a band, and we just felt that the connection at that point, we should get on as much music written as we could before we all went our different ways for Christmas. And so that's why we had so much written. By the time I suddenly went, bollocks, I've got to write something, you know, I've really got to pick my finger out here.
Yeah. But is it that later than the concept came up that it also changed the music, the direction a bit?
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to pinpoint and say, well, this is exactly what we did. But, you know, we didn't actually leave some tapes out and in some socks at the end of the bed and some pixies come along and make it up. You know, we actually did go backwards and forwards, but yeah, I guess I know definitely that the theme and the fact that people in the band were very interested in this story, and I sort of just eked it out for them and penciled out the rough ideas, that we were able to revisit the music with that in mind, and especially the keyboards and the symphonic nature and the choir and the male baritone and all that stuff, which embellishes parts of the record, that was all influenced by the subject matter.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking, you like to write in concept albums.
I mean, I don't like to do it all the time. The last one we did was Damnation in a Day, which is 2003, and prior to that, Cruelty and the Beast, 1998. But I think it's one of those things, if you get it completely right, and you must understand that the music each song's got to stand out on its own. So if people aren't even interested or don't even have the lyrics, whatever, it's got to be a great record nonetheless. But if you can get all the artwork, the vocals, the story, and most definitely the music all working together, and you can get it completely right, then it's something that if people want to scratch beneath the surface, then there's like a whole thing to immerse yourself in.
Yeah. Are your own favorite albums also concept albums, maybe, or?
Actually, yeah, a couple are. Well, one is I'm a big fan of soundtracks, so you know that's quite close.
Okay, which one then?
Jeff Wayne's The War of the Worlds.
Yeah, that's great.
It is great, and I was actually very fortunate to have been approached by Jeff Wayne to play the part of the parson in the live show that they did, and obviously the guy that played it on the record was Phil Lynott, and obviously he's dead. So I went to Jeff Wayne's house, which I called Wayne Manor because it was massive, and recorded there. But I got the part, but unfortunately, typically, we had an extension of a tour, so I wouldn't have been able to rehearse with the cast, and then I would have missed a couple of the shows. So, you know, it was... But no, I would say that was definitely one of my favourite albums, if not my favourite album of all time.
Yeah, because, why? Because, you know, you have this album and you can... listen over and over again.
Well, it's such an epic record.
Yeah.
It's about the invasion of Earth, you know, in Victorian England, by Martians that traipse across it in these huge fighting machines, and the music is just, it's rock based and it's epic. It has classical instrumentation, so it has a Carmina Burana feel to it, and it has a narrative by Richard Burton nonetheless, and some of the best musicians of the time, you know, it's like, it's perfect.
Yeah, so that is something like that you also want to approach.
Yeah, but in our own way. I mean, it's a more extreme way, and you know, and a bit more abrasive. I mean, you've got to consider that was done in the 70s, so it still reeks a bit of the 70s, and I quite like that because it's nostalgic for me because you know, my parents played it and I grew up on it. But obviously our album is like a modern, extreme version of something like that. Modern production, modern principle, well, aesthetics at least. I mean, our orchestration, apart from the choir and all the small additions that we made, most of the symphonic element were all just really, really excellent samples from an expensive film sample library.
Okay. it's all a lot of samples in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.